sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, let's kick off this deep dive. We're here to unpack this weekend's Premier League clash, Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Got a match report from the Guardian, some post-game interviews, really dive in. Saturday afternoon, Villa Park, the atmosphere must have been electric. These two teams, always a good matchup. When you first glanced at everything, anything jump out at you?
Well, the final score definitely caught my eye. Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1.
Yeah, that is surprising. Looking at the stats here, early on, Chelsea seemed to be really controlling possession.
They did. 57% possession for Chelsea compared to 43% for Villa. But, gotta look at those shots on target. Villa made theirs count.
You know, it's funny. Chelsea struck first, Enzo Fernandez, 9 minutes in, goal.
True, but then, just 8 minutes later, injury substitution for Chelsea. Tosin Adarabioyo came in to replace the injured player.
Ah, see, that early substitution, that could really throw a wrench in your game plan. But football, it's two halves, right? Never over till it's over.
Absolutely, and Aston Villa, they didn't let that early goal rattle them. Marco Asensio, new signing for Villa, he's the hero. 2 goals in the second half, 57th minute, and then the winner in the 90th.
Wow, what a debut. 2 goals right out of the gate. Gotta ask, though, what made him so effective? Was it just luck or something more?
You know, his positioning was fantastic on both goals. Looking at these diagrams in the match report, he kept finding space right between Chelsea's center backs. Exploited those gaps perfectly.
So not just luck, real strategic play from Asensio then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Can't forget about Marcus Rashford either. Came on as a sub in the 46th minute, assisted both of Asensio's goals.
Right, Rashford, Yuri Tielemans had some interesting things to say about him in one of these interviews. Said Rashford changes the dynamic on the left-hand side. What'd you make of that?
Well, Rashford, he stretches the defense with his runs, pulls defenders out of position, opens up space for Asensio. Others, too. The match report diagrams really show it, how he disrupts their lines. And Tielemans mentions Rashford still getting back up to speed after a break, which is incredible considering his impact.
Makes you wonder if he can do that much now, what's he going to be like at full fitness? Big question for me is, did that early substitution for Chelsea cost them the game, or were Villa just destined to win that day?
Tough question. Injury definitely didn't help Chelsea, but Villa's strategy, Asensio and Rashford stepping up, those were huge factors. I think to really understand this match, we got to look at what went wrong for Chelsea. They were the favorites going in.
Absolutely. Let's shift gears and focus on Chelsea, figure out where things went off track for them.
Chelsea, they had a lot going for them. Seemed like the stronger team on paper.
Right. So where did it all go wrong? Did they underestimate Villa? Maybe Fernandez scoring early led to overconfidence?
Could be, but I think there's more to it. Match report talks about all these missed opportunities for Chelsea. They created chances, just couldn't finish.
So plenty of chances, but they lacked that killer instinct in front of goal.
Exactly. Good possession in the first half, but not as clinical as Villa when it came to taking those shots.
And that early substitution, maybe it had a bigger impact than we initially thought.
Hard to say for sure, but losing a key player that early can definitely disrupt the flow, forces adjustments.
Yeah, having to change formations or tactics mid-game, that's got to be tough.
Throws everything off, players in unfamiliar positions, communication breaks down, team cohesion suffers. And they had to make another substitution later. Jadon Sancho came on in the 76th minute.
Oh, right. I was wondering about that. Another injury, or was it tactical?
Report doesn't say specifically, but maybe the manager was trying to shake things up in the attack, especially since they were trailing at that point.
By then, Asensio had already put Villa in the lead.
Exactly. Momentum was with Villa, Chelsea struggling to find their rhythm. We talked about Chelsea having more possession, but maybe they became too predictable. Villa seemed to anticipate their every move.
Do you think that was part of Villa's game plan then? Force Chelsea into those less effective plays?
Could very well be. Look at those match report diagrams again. Villa's defense was disciplined, shutting down passing lanes, forcing Chelsea into those low-percentage shots.
Makes sense. Almost like Chelsea came in expecting an easy win and Villa had a plan ready to go.
It's a good reminder every team in the Premier League deserves respect. No easy games. Villa's win, it was their strategy. Chelsea's missed chances. Maybe a bit of overconfidence from Chelsea, too.
Makes me wonder about Chelsea moving forward. Is this just a blip or a sign of bigger issues?
Too early to tell, but it should be a wake-up call. Complacency is dangerous in football, especially in a league as competitive as the Premier League.
So what should they focus on? Avoid a repeat of this result.
Rediscover that clinical edge in front of goal, be ready for the unexpected, and never underestimate your opponent.
This deep dive has been really insightful, breaking down those key moments, the tactics, even the psychology of the match.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How individual skill, tactical decisions, and a bit of luck all come together.
Aston Villa, they really showed their quality, a new star in Asensio, Rashford's vision, and that fighting spirit from the whole team.
And how important it is to adapt, especially when things don't go to plan, like that early injury.
Before we wrap up, though, need to circle back to Chelsea.
You're right, we touched on some of their struggles, but there's more to uncover there.
Let's dig a little deeper into what went wrong for them on that Saturday afternoon. So we've talked about Chelsea missing those chances, the early substitution, but something still feels off about their performance.
Yeah, those were factors, but we got to zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture.
What else stood out to you from the match report, interviews, all that?
Chelsea's manager, his post-game comments, there's a quote that really jumps out. He says, "We didn't play with the same intensity, the same urgency as recent matches. We let Villa dictate the tempo, and we paid the price."
So it wasn't just the missed chances, the tactical stuff. Sounds like a mental thing, a lack of that edge they usually have.
Right, that hunger, that determination we expect from them, it wasn't there. Maybe a bit of complacency crept in after those wins leading up to this.
It's like in football, in life even, staying on top, it takes constant effort. Can't just rely on past success, gotta keep pushing.
Absolutely, and maybe that early goal from Fernandes, it messed with their mindset. They thought, all right, we got this, and eased up a bit.
Gave Villa that opening, and once they had the momentum, Asensio, Rashford doing their thing, Chelsea were always on the back foot.
Exactly, reacting to Villa instead of taking control themselves. I got to give Villa credit, they took advantage of that hesitation.
I think this match, it's got lessons for both teams and for anyone who loves football.
What lessons come to mind for you?
For Chelsea, gotta maintain that intensity, that focus, no matter who they're playing, what the score is. Can't let up, not even for a second.
Yeah, good point. And for Villa, it shows with the right approach, believing in themselves, they can take on anyone.
Reminds us, the fans, that in football, anything can happen. Underdogs can win, favorites can stumble. That's the beauty of it all, the unpredictability.
This match, what a roller coaster, and we've just scratched the surface here. We broke down those key moments, the tactics, even the psychology of it all.
Saw individual brilliance, smart tactics, and that pure passion that makes the sport so great.
One game, but it tells you so much about a team, their character, what they do well, where they struggle.
We can't predict the future, but one thing's for sure, both Villa and Chelsea, they'll learn from this. Use it to shape their journey in the Premier League.
This deep dive hopefully gave you a better understanding of what happened out there, why Villa came out on top.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and keep the love for the beautiful game alive.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have the ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.